Welcome, everyone, to DeLa Viega. We are here with the Santa Cruz Masters Cup, part of the 2021 PDGA National Tour Series. We're out in Santa Cruz, California, on the lead feature card of the FPO division. I'm Sarah Hokum, here with Zoe Andike.
Hey, everybody. We're excited to be commentating on this card today and throughout your weekend of FPO coverage. Big shout out to Central Coast for providing this post-production, the PDGA, and of course this tournament is powered by Innova.
We've got a star-studded group of ladies here. We have Paige Peirce, Katrina Allen, Juliana Korver, and the Masters Cup winner, Danielle Kleidon.
And here you see the flyover for hole 1, which is different than previous years. We're starting on the Hill Series. It's a par 3, 345 feet. This is a pretty cool start, I think. A good change-up for the tournament.
Also a pump. This is playing pretty far uphill. Will be a tough get for most of the women.
Juliana Korver, first to tee here.
Throwing a road runner, looking for a little more turn. But she'll be all right there.
Yeah, it skittles down the hill just a little bit, so she's got an open look. So I love this. We start with the first five-time world champ, and now second to tee, your current five-time world champion, Paige Peirce.
Throwing a Zeus. Looks like she turned it over just a bit. She'll have a bit of a ceiling coming up that hill.
Staying safe from the OB. Third to tee, Katrina Allen.
She's ripping on a D2.
Looks like it's hyzering maybe a little more than she had planned and doesn't get much of the skip downhill.
That could be trouble.
Obstructed up shot. Rounding out our card, who wins the Masters weekend, Danielle, and she has gotten that lucky trickle down the hill there.
Well, it is a Sarah Hokum trace, so I think...
Yes.
Well, as long as it stays in bounds. Okay, there it is.
And she will also be the first to throw her upshot here on hole 1.
Danielle's got a mixed bag right now, so she's throwing MVP, and then she's also throwing Castaplast, and that was her berg.
Love seeing that with the open bag players getting the choice. JK conservatively playing it high from the basket and leaving it pretty close. And you're right, Paige does have a low ceiling here. She's going to have to keep it low but high enough. Parked. Dunzo, we love it. You can see Kat stretching out, having to take a knee, but it doesn't phase her. She's parked there.
Playing that high side is a smart play on this approach to keep it up on the hill rather than having the chance to hit any of those rocks and roll all the way down to the road.
Yeah, potentially bringing OB into play is no good. Yeah, JK carding her par as well. I do love watching her rhythm and routine every single time. It's the same.
She is such an athlete. And really recently kind of came back into the disc golf game after quite a long stint away as she pursued her freestyle skills. Among other Frisbee sports.
Among all of the Frisbee sports.
Right, DDC, you name it. She does them all. Everybody good on the par there. There were actually no birdies on this hole.
Yeah, when you look at the UDisc stats, you see that par was the score to be carding. Moving on to hole 2. This is drastically uphill, 276 feet, par 3. I mean, playing like a 400-foot shot, really. There's trees everywhere in the way. If you happen to catch an edge and roll down the hill, there is OB, road and beyond. So a lot of tricks, a lot of trouble. It's just all in where the player decides to place their first shot.
Such a daunting hole.
No shot is easy on this hole.
Not even the little approaches. Korver going with the Roadrunner.
And gets some action, but stays safe right there. That is a pretty sweet spot to land.
Paige getting a nice turn out of her Zeus, but that looks like it caught some trees. That needs a sit.
Yeah, the spotter did not go running. That's a good sign that it is safe.
Uh-oh. Cat with an X3 looking for that to turn more, But it didn't roll down the hill. That'll be a really tricky approach.
Yeah. Danielle rounding out the card here. She knows her play. She knows her spot she wants to land, and she does.
Getting some local love on that little trickle. Throwing the trace again.
That's pretty cool. And it looks like Kat has a window here for her upshot.
That needs to sit.
Ooh. Wow, and it nicely does. That's giving her a really good attempt for the par.
Yeah, only about 18 feet up a hill a little bit. Paige over here in no ladies land.
Throwing a sidearm early.
Ooh, that'll be a tough putt. We'll see if she runs it.
JK with a little bit of a tricky footing, but nonetheless, stress-free par, park job.
Danny with the turnover with the berg, leaving herself about 20 feet.
You can see she wanted a little more there.
Paige laying up, folks.
Rare occasion.
Mark it.
Smart play. I do love to see the player playing smart. And Danny for the par. Cash money.
Beautiful stroke. Nice
That's
and
cool.
smooth. Hyzer flop. That wasn't really a flop, Danny.
And Kat for the par. She's in. Pretty happy with that, I'm sure. A little early release off the tee, but makes good on the hole. Tap in for JK. And tap in here for Paige. A couple of pars and one bogey on the card.
Not bad. I mean, this playing as the third most difficult hole. And no birdies in the field today. I'm hoping we get to see a few tomorrow. I know a few ladies can get to this one. Watching Danny cash in that par putt.
DeLa Viega's stats are so fun to check out the difference daily as well.
And we're on to hole 3. What do we got, Zoe?
So this is a par 3. It's 354 feet. It plays all of that. You can tell you're on the top of the hill, kind of the spine of the course here, like the highest point in elevation. So there's always going to be a tricky wind. Experienced players usually kind of, they're either looking at the flag or taking a quick walk out, because what's happening at the basket's usually a little different than the tee.
Juliana up first. Throwing an Atlas, the conservative play.
A lot of players choosing a mid-range for a more controlled shot here. And a lot of our players can actually get there with a mid-range nowadays.
Kat with the H3 V2. Going
Beautiful.
for the birdie. And whew, that'll be a short tap in.
Man, that was a beautiful drive.
Danny throwing a musket. I believe this is latitude 64. Turns it over. It'll be a tough get from over there.
Rounding out the box here, Paige Peirce.
Also throwing a less conservative play, trying to get that birdie with a stalker. Leaves herself a long putt.
JK just playing this one for par and executing her practice notes. And I'm sure Danny's been here before, being a local that has picked the game up in the last year and a half. DeLa is her home course, I believe. Might have gotten a little more turnover than she wanted on that upshot.
Paige from just inside circle 2. Little chain out on the right side.
Drawing medal for a great attempt, but not quite in.
Danny in her second recovery shot, pitching it out for the bogey save. And Kat, look at this.
I'm going to call that maybe 4, 5, 6 feet away from the basket.
5.126.
Awesome birdie to get on this hole. Wow.
Only other player that got this one today was Haley King, our 2-time NT champion, looking to take down a 3rd title in the National Tour this weekend. But she'll have to get past these ladies, and I don't think they're going to make it easy.
And Paige is carding her par as Danny is cleaning up for her bogey tap in here. And I do love it when a player just, even if it does look like a tap in, takes their time, takes the breath, and makes sure that that putt's going in. You know, it already hurts just a little bit taking the bogey stroke, but securing that there will be no more damage is important. Let's watch this replay. What a drive by Katrina Allen.
I love that close-up of her grip.
I also love that Central Coast is providing us, if you guys are noticing on the bottom right corner of the screen after the drives, with some miles per hour on the shot. Pretty cool feature. But now, on to the top of the world. Used to be the featured final hole for the DeLa Masters Cup. This is a par 3. It's 516 feet, way downhill. And as you can see from our flyover here, there's a road, OB, just outside of the circle, past the basket. And we're all throwing down, straight downhill at this basket. So staying away and clear from OB is tough. You guys got to know 2 meter rule is in effect. We're in California. We're throwing over trees. There's a lot going on.
Catrina with an M2, she needs that to sit.
Oof.
Oh, there was a little bit extra headwind out there today that players did not experience in practice.
Thankfully, we've got a couple of spotters on this hole, which is totally necessary.
Juliana with a T-bird 3.
Great choice in the play. I think she probably didn't account for that headwind you were talking about, hoping for some more hyzer to come out of that shot, but...
she'll have a couple hundred feet to approach and still has that access to par.
Yep.
Paige with the buzz. Lots of mid-range shots down this hill. They seem to float really, really well downhill. Even if you can't throw a mid 500 feet like Paige just did, it is still worth the shot.
And she absolutely took the intended line, but I think was looking for a little more hyzer out there. Danny.
See if Danny can make the adjustment with a wave. Oh, ow. I saw this come in. And I think she almost hit Cap Merch in 3 holes from now.
Luckily, we've got so many staff members that are calling out for and watch out.
Yeah, this course is really wonderful to play, but also it can be a little dangerous as these shots can go really far in the wrong direction off that hill.
Juliana taking a knee because of the low ceiling in front of her, just trying to get under the basket.
And get under the basket she did.
Well done. Danny for her 3rd shot here. Giving it a run. And trying to play some wind there. That was a very, very good bid. Kat from OB taking her meter in. And that looked like a pretty good run attempt at it. Safely landing for her bogey.
Paige with the birdie left. Nice flight on that putter shot.
Definitely had some tricky angle control there, getting around the fence.
Any guesses which local got this hole?
Oh, let's see. This one's very gettable. You just have to follow your practice plan. Who is it?
Well, she is the queen of upshots and putting. That would be Miss Christine King, KK herself.
Oh,
the only one to get this one today. That's just such a locals play.
That is. Shout out to KK, because the birdie on top of the world, there's something about that birdie that's just a little more powerful.
And it's gettable for everyone, but it's so technical with that wind and elevation and the OB on the left. It is so much fun to throw, though.
Let's watch this replay. Paige's buzz shot from top of the world. Love that camera angle.
And if you look, if the fog isn't too far and you can see the ocean from right there.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I think I'm gonna land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. Having the Bushnell rangefinder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
I started playing disc golf with my family when I was 8 years old. When I was 16, I got my first job as a cook at a bowling alley, and that's when I made my first batch of beef jerky. As I got better at throwing, I also got better at making beef jerky. Everyone told me they loved my jerky. After 15 years of making my beef jerky as a hobby, I decided to make it available to everyone. Double G Craft Jerky. Give it a try. You're gonna love it.
And we're back. We are on to hole 5. What do we got, Zoe?
All right, this is the traditional hole 1 at DeLa Viega. Par 3, 315 feet, and a bit of uphill elevation gain. You can see that there's Mando tree on the left, Mando tree on the right, and quite a few trees as you are approaching the green. Definitely Most players are trying to get past that first level with a safe landing. It's tricky to not hit the wood and roll away too, so everybody needs to kind of plan for which tree they want to stay right or left of and execute the shot.
Juliana going with the Roadrunner.
Looked pretty good there, landing on that first level. Plenty of power here by Paige Peirce, up above on that second to third tier.
Oh, that looked like it might even get all the way up there.
Yeah.
But you got to play that low ceiling as well. So it's tough to get it up the hill, but under the ceiling to scootle all the way up to the pin.
Yeah.
All these shots are looking pretty good.
Danny rounding out the card, little higher than she probably wanted, but a safe landing.
And that was good that it didn't push too far left, because you get in trouble over there.
She's got a clear up shot, throwing the forehand over the log, and leaves herself just about a 15-footer there, I'd say. Straight uphill, though, mind you. JK all day under the basket, or close to
Close.
the
Looks
basket.
similar to Danny's putt. Kat pushing the sidearm a little bit left, but she's pinned high with a flat putt.
Take that any day. Yeah.
I feel like I make that mistake a lot, throwing sidearms uphill. Just push them left. Takes that extra little adjustment for the elevation. And Danny putting with a Penrose.
Oh, cool. Penrose is projected to be the perfect putter, correct?
I guess that's the word on the street. Danny probably needed to straddle that back foot, keeping her disc right because of the elevation change in her stance.
It's so hard here. Oh, nice catch basket, and JK is stoked to walk away with this par. Cat, like you said, pin high. I mean, I'm loving the flat stance all day.
You don't get a lot of flat stance out here at DeLa.
Not on this course. It's very important for players to not only have an offset stance, but like you said, the straddle stance, just to harness the power, harness the angle to the basket. Looking like a tap in here for Paige Peirce. Yep. No.
Oh,
basket.
What?
That was a perfectly centered
That
putt.
was dirty.
And we do see that occasionally in disc golf. It's a heartbreaker. Nothing wrong with that bid. I can almost guarantee, though, that's not a player's mistake. That is a complete just equipment foul, really, if you will. Probably enough to fire Paige up for this next drive.
Yeah, it's always early in the round when you have one of those. You hope it doesn't affect your confidence on the putting green for the rest of the time, because DeLa does not forgive missed putts.
And on to hole 6 now. We have a par 3. It's only listed as 270 feet uphill, but folks, the drastic elevation here, I mean, it feels again like you're playing 350, 400 feet up, straight up the hill. Not to mention, once we get the view here from the sky cam, the basket is located right on the edge of the cliff that will take you right back down this huge hill. Rollaways are real, fast, skippy greens are real.
Yeah, this green is one to contend with. Juliana with a great shot up the hill with the Roadrunner.
That's her favorite elevation throwing uphill disc. You know, some little more understability to get straight up the hill. Look at that, 58 miles per hour and a gorgeous drive by Katrina Allen.
She'll have a decision to make. She's got a putt there.
And Paige also looking to press that hyzer and get left, but went a little too far and got caught by that bush.
Now she's going to have to contend with this other tree on her approach. That is not a good spot.
Completely blocking the basket.
Danny a little bit low, but trickle.
Got some decent ground action. She can see the pin from there, and just now hoping to give it the touch that it needs. She's playing the ground in the skip factor.
A little bit of a death putt, but in range. Paige, whew.
Layup putting this one to the right.
Not a fun approach, but that was pretty good.
Make short work of it. JK just trying to keep things easy here. And she does. I love that.
I love that putt.
Consistent.
Kat says, it's round 1. I don't need to make this. We'll see on Sunday, run day.
I love it. I love it, Sunday run day.
Paige recovering from that previous spit out. Perfect putt for her par save.
And for the par attempt here, Danny
low right.
catches it. Oh. It's the same on the scorecard, but the emotions inside of the player, much different.
And also the effect of the next putt. Sometimes,
Absolutely.
When you make it, but you don't know that you deserved it, sometimes that can affect your confidence as you go forward.
And I like that you pointed out that Kat had a decision here. The drive was so good that that confidence factor, or what you want to see on your scorecard factor really comes in.
And I've seen Kat hit this birdie. One of few women I've ever seen to get this birdie. So I know she knows she can do it, but maybe she'll save that for later rounds.
Moving on to hole 7. This is a par 3, 354 feet to the pin. You can see there's kind of a large couple of dead trees on the right, pretty thick trees on the left that you just have to get through or throw over to this guarded green. It's kind of like the jailhouse of large trees with pretty reasonably sized gaps to get into the basket. This hole's been aced a few times. It's a downhill shot. A lot of players are choosing putters, mid-ranges, or just slower speeds for more controllable landings.
Juliana with that Atlas, turning a little bit hard. She needs that to come back.
A little bit of sneaky headwind down there.
Kat also going with the mid with the M2, one of her trusty mids that she throws all the time. Doesn't quite get the turn she wanted, but she'll have a long look.
Yeah, she got up there.
Paige with the zone.
Wow.
Looking for that turn, and with the stability on that disc, it should come back.
Oh, that was just a nasty tree hit. It was it had its flight path to the basket.
Danny with the Castoplast Lots, or Lotes.
I'm going to go with lots. I like that.
Lots. Maybe we can get a pronunciation check from our friends overseas.
Oh, we've got this crazy stump in the way.
Oh, no. The upper shrubberies.
First time we've seen JK not actually get underneath the basket or close to on our second shot. Wow, Kat gave that a great attempt. Landed safe. JK.
Juliana with the layup for the bogey. And Danny with the birdie look. With that Penrose.
She's got the alley.
Ooh, looks good.
Oh, and she sneaks it in there.
Wow,
That's what we like to see.
What a beautiful putt. She had to shape that differently than her normal putting style.
Absolutely. Had to give it some angle around the tree. Paige now for her birdie attempt. Yes.
Looking good.
2 birdies on the card here.
Yeah, playing is the 20th most difficult. So what, the 4th easiest?
I love that.
Let me do the math real quick.
Love that.
Lots of players getting access to this birdie. Always feels good after coming through that big stretch of tweener holes.
And Kat just tapping in right here. And doesn't really signify it on this, post-production, but there was a bit of a backup between these last couple of holes. So the players were actually having to sit for quite a while, 20, 30, 40 minutes between getting to play these hole 7, 8, 9 stretch.
It's a bit surprising how much the course was backed up. Oh, just sneaking it in, Danny.
Look at that fist pump.
Oh, hey.
Very cool. Hole 8. You can't see the pin. You got to go uphill first just to go right back down 390 feet, par 3. This is such a tricky one from the tee because you think you know where the basket is and where the airspace, where the trees are, but it's just such a tricky looking green. Also very fast. We've got a hillside. The gravity's sucking you down to potential rollaways. Thank goodness for spotters here. Sticky Velcro trees. A lot of the players are just trying to keep it low enough and get it left enough for the righty backhand. Let's see what these players come out with. Paige.
With a Raptor, looks a little bit straight. She needed that to hyzer a little bit more to get into the middle of the fairway. She's on the edge of the right side.
I think so.
Danny going with her lots again. Lots of height on that one. Uh-oh, come down. Come down. Come on, wind.
Please come down.
The 2-meter rule is in effect, and we are seeing the first ravages of that rule. Cat keeping it nice and low. Off to the left. This is a great position. She'll have a nice sidearm approach into the pin. This is where you want to be.
Absolutely. That's the play. Although, even though that's the play, still such a tricky hole.
Yeah, nothing easy about this hole. It is playing as the most difficult hole on the course today.
JK also playing the left side of the fairway and staying clean in the air.
Went with a Roadrunner, so she's playing kind of that flip up that still threw it high enough to get that hyzer back left. Danny down the hill a bit. She'll have a tricky putt uphill.
JK taking the knee to stay low, hoping for the ground play.
She's got a little elbow action in there on that follow through, looking for it to go a little longer. Oh, Cat threw the backhand. I thought she was going to go sidearm. That'll work.
Got a nice stop there, and she's in par contention.
Paige has a putt? Okay, I thought she was further right, but that's cool.
Yeah, and gets her bid in the circle there.
That low ceiling makes it almost impossible to make that putt. It's got to come in with such heat. And JK trying to save the par.
Just left. But she actually landed pretty well there. Didn't get too far of a slide away. Paige in the basket.
Sneaking it over the rim. Oh, but that was for a bogey.
I was just going to say, sorry.
So we must have missed her second shot. That makes sense. I wondered.
Unless she was 2-metered.
Good question. Paige?
No, actually, she only had one OB on the day. So
Wow. Great
awesome.
putt. Danny showing why she won the AM side of this tournament.
And tapping in the par. Tough hole. Definitely worthy of the toughest playing hole on the course this day.
Yeah, this is the hole that Barsby aced.
Roller.
With the roller. Everybody's maybe heard of the that famous roller ace, if you can imagine. Hopped a root and popped in the basket.
One of the most legendary aces of all time at one of the most historic courses.
So cool.
Passion is more than fiery emotion. It feeds the spark to start your day. It fuels your obsessions. It inspires your dreams. Passion challenges your fears, and it repeatedly bathes you in sweat until you are transformed into a new, better you. Disc golf isn't just your passion, it's ours too.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
All right, and we are back here with hole 9. It's a par 3, 393 feet. Again, you can't see the basket from the tee. Little tiny bit of upward elevation before your downhill elevation. This is a tricky one, you guys. You really want a disc to come out the hand straight and stay straight, if not have a little bit of right fade to it. You also don't want to put it up in the air too high. You've got a ceiling, we've got trees on both sides. Really looking for some ground play to skip forward to the basket. Katrina Allen teeing first.
Getting a little bit of flip up. Looks like the H3V2.
And she lands in a good place. That little stopper, I'm not sure what that is.
Paige with a buzz. She was looking for that right gap, but she snuck through the other ones. She'll be off to the... Oh!
Wow.
Favorable kick.
That could be
for
some,
a putt. Is she going to go for it?
Love. I'm imagining so. That was pretty sweet.
Danny with the lots once again. She seems to really like that disc. It must be, a flippy fairway?
Man, and she's got good control with it.
That looks almost pin high. Oh, close.
Close.
Wow, what a shot.
Players are looking to get that middle gap all the way up, missing both of those trees. JK does it, but she's fading right. Must be that Roadrunner again.
You are right on the money, and so is this drive. Sneaking through those right trees, and she's pin high, parked for a birdie.
That's hard to do on this hole.
Yeah, oh gosh, that must have felt so good. It feels so good to get this one.
Yeah.
Cat just pitching up.
And this is what we call a death putt.
Oh, looks a little tentative.
Leaving it low and sliding down behind the basket for a comebacker. Danny's kind of all up in this foliage here and has a bid for the birdie. A little bit of stress around her. Can she execute? Oh, plenty of height. Good landing there.
Yeah, even if you could just make it all the way down there, even if you can't get the birdie, it still feels good to tap in a par. An easy par putt.
For the comebacker, carding the par.
Paige showing why she runs those shots downhill.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Cat to clean up her par.
Smooth in her rhythm and routine. And as you can see from the wave there, we do have a small gallery here. We always love getting the FPO spectating support, especially being in the later afternoon. It's important to us to have those spectators.
Yeah, lots of support out there. And JK with the birdie.
That's right. Wow, that feels good. Whew.
The only other player to get that one was Haley King.
Again, man, Haley's cleaning up on those hard birdies, man.
Danny tapping in the par. Man, these ladies playing this hole like they are the feature card.
That's right.
I mean, they were the feature card, not necessarily the lead card, but I think a few of them might end up on the lead card with shots like this.
No kidding. Getting that slow-mo, JK with the Roadrunner. Beautiful drive. And we've played 9 holes, but we're not done for this first half. Remember, this is a 24-hole tournament. On to hole 10. This is downhill. It's a par 3, 348 feet. Super tricky and technical. You've got to have angle control. You've got to know how your discs fly. We've got OB left road lining the entire fairway. And surprise, surprise, pretty drastic hill on the right-hand side that if you were to kick up and roll, it's not going to be friendly. It's not the biggest gap. You just got to throw straight through, keeping it low.
Juliana with a leopard. Oh, it kind of got rooted.
Rooted.
That could have been a skip all the way to the pin.
Rude.
That was a rude. Katrina with an M2. Playing that mid down the hill. Oh, skittle, roll.
And as you can see, almost the same spot that JK's disc landed, but got different ground action, as DeLa will always give you out here.
Peirce with the zone.
Wow.
Getting that straight skip and about a 20-footer.
Definitely getting the birdie look there. Danny
with the MVP reactor gets too much turn on it. And, ooh, trouble.
A little bit of a tree hit. You can see that this is an obstructed view of the basket. I don't think she had any view of the basket there. Coming up a little short.
Juliana with a long look.
I think she's laying this up.
I would be, but...
Yeah. I was like kind of unsure of layup bid there.
Danny to save her par.
Giving it plenty of height.
Oh!
So close.
That was a pretty safe run. She must be used to playing this course.
No.
Doesn't like that one.
Gave herself a
That
look
might be the
for
first putt
birdie.
she's missed in weeks.
Absolutely. Cat through the trees. And look at that V-tree putt. She cards the birdie. It's a great one to get. It's all about if you've gotten off the tee clean for this shot.
One of the more birdieable holes on the course, playing as a 17th difficulty. So what is that, the 7th easiest?
I think so. Tapping in the par for JK.
See some spectators on the road there, walking up and down, checking out the action. We did sell out of spectator passes this week, so make sure you get on that on the next opportunity.
Absolutely. Look at this birdie bid. Right through the trees.
Full extension with the fingers. I love it when a putt gets framed up by a couple trees.
I know.
It seems like it's easier
Meant
to make.
be. Yeah. It's like there's the tunnel. All right. This is hole 11. It's a par 3. It's only 215 feet. Not necessarily visible from the basket or from the tee pad. You have to take a few steps over to the left, but our interesting fly over here with all that sunshine kind of glamming it up, you can see that it's just a little bit of a turnover for a right-handed player. Very fast, very skippy, slidey.
Kind of looks like a sidearm, but the sidearm's got to not fade.
Absolutely. It's like something turn and stay straight.
Oh, not enough turn, but she's at the top of the hill.
Friendly kick. Yeah, that's a pretty substantial hill just right off the side of the fairway.
Juliana with the AVRX. Perfect.
That's parked. That is a stress-free birdie. Excellent.
Peirce going with the fierce.
Gotta love that.
Good turn on it.
The player throwing her disc.
Oh, she moved Juliana's disc. Folks, Juliana can put that back.
If she desires.
But I doubt she saw that happen. Oh, no. This is trouble. Came down at a roller angle. She almost may want to re-tee. Oh.
And she chooses to re-tee.
That's sometimes the play here. Going reactor this time.
For 3 from the tee. And she gets herself safely up the fairway on top. Cat for her birdie.
Wow, that was aggressive. Whew.
And it was
Looks
nice.
like she was trying to make it.
Yeah. Danny having to run this one. And just a little low.
Any basket hits here that don't stick can just roll away all the way down the hill into the poison oak land.
Crazy hills everywhere. Paige with the birdie there. And that one feels good. That's got to be one of the easier playing holes.
Yeah, second easiest.
All right. That's what I was thinking. JK tapping in. She's pretty stoked. Been playing a really consistent, clean round so far. Got the par for Katrina Allen. And unfortunately, just due to the re-tee, you've got to add one more stroke. She was teeing second time for the 3. This is a drop-in 5 for Danny.
Yeah, not the way you want this hole to go, but it happens, and we'll see if she can make the recovery on these next 13 holes. Paige making the adjustment from that miss on the last hole.
And our final hole, 12 in the first half here. It's a par 3. Absolutely cannot see the basket 320 feet away. We've got a pretty severe hill lined by trees on the right-hand side and a mando tree just in the first quarter of the fairway that you have to stay right of, separating the next hole, hole 13 on the left side, lining the fairway. This is a newer pin location for the Masters Cup. The local club has carved out, cleaned up really nicely, and it's playing just a little bit tougher than previous years.
Juliana going with a leopard 3, looking for some turn.
Yeah, she got some good turn out of that.
I don't know
Tough
what we're
from
looking
the
at right
camera
here.
angle
But
It's all right.
she's playing to the old position.
Yeah. Player, right-hand, backhand thrower is really wanting to get that turnover.
That's a tough kick with the buzz.
Looks to be in 13's fairway.
Cat with the M4 needs it to turn.
Boy, and she knows her discs. It does turn.
She's had that disc since 2013, so
That's
she doesn't know it yet. Danny with the musket. Oh, no, that's a missed mando.
Oh, so that'll be a drop zone for her. Now, this is going to be for her second shot, but for her 3 with the penalty stroke.
That's too severe. Good kick out.
That's what we call a little bit of DeLa love there. That was going down the hill.
Day love.
Yes. Tricky shot here.
Paige with the recovery sidearm. Wow. Left it a little deep, but she'll have a look to save the par.
Yeah.
Danny with a long bogey look.
Gave it a good try.
And Juliana, she's got some obstruction here.
Yeah, that's like a wall. Severe hyzer bid just to get to the
It's
green.
kind of a stabby putt. It's hard to get putts to go left in that situation. Catrina for the birdie.
Oh,
Cans
my
it.
Goodness. First of all, it's a great birdie to get, but that was a huge putt. Cat was clearly outside of the circle, gave it a jump, cashed it in.
Paige looking for her 3. Solid.
Dead center. Gotta love that. Rounding out our first half here. Danny to clean up.
This is for her double bogey.
And that's a really clutch putt. Way to kind of regain the mental focus and put that one in.
Now that's 2 doubles in a row. So she needs to tourniquet this. And that was a good putt. So I think she's back on track.
Juliana Korver, if you've ever owned a JK AVR, you now know that JK stands for first 5-time world champion Juliana Korver.
Who just, by the way, took the FP40 title at the U.S. Women's Major that happened last weekend. So she is styled, she's ready, and she's can't wait to watch the second half.
Back playing FPO.
We'll see you on the back half. Thanks for joining us.